Hey guys, this is Marty Angler from Angling Waters Outdoors, and you're listening to my pally, Manny Moonraker, right here on UFO Bust Radio Network. Hey Manny, you know why I fish at night? Can you say UFO? UFO. That's right.
So I bet you were thinking, where the hell is Manny Moonraker? Well, here I am, and this is a follow-up to what you've been waiting for. Cue the music. Hey, this is your man with the plan, Manny Moonraker, and last week I said that the second episode for the week was going to be a follow-up to the information we got from Carlos Acevedo in his interview, and that was number 106, and this is episode 107. Basically, Carlos told us about an event that happened in the Michigan area, which is apparently known as the Holland, Michigan UFO get down. I added the get down part because I can. But anyway, what we have in store for you in this episode, for those of you who want to listen to some craziness, is basically about 60 plus people, March 8th of 1994, were busy calling the authorities, right? Because they were seeing a bunch of stuff flying around the Michigan area. And this is what Carlos was talking about. So he kindly, after the episode, sent me the link. And I've been working on kind of dissecting it somewhat, make sure you guys get the best information out of it. But then it was, how am I going to present this to you all? How am I going to put this in here into this audio format so that you can listen to it? And you know what? I'm just going to throw it down. I'm not going to rubber dick anybody with it. I'm just going to put this audio from beginning to end. You're going to hear people calling emergency services. There's even a call to the National Weather Service. Some operator there is actually tracking these UFOs. Now, again, the incident happened March 8th of 1994 in the Lake Michigan area. And I'm telling you, it is fascinating. But before we get into that, let me just say, if you want to follow the podcast, you can do it on Facebook at Manny Moonraker Facebook page and UFO Buster Radio Facebook page, at Manny Moonraker on the old Instagrammies. And also, lastly, of course, you can follow me on Twitter at UFO Buster Radio. So I'm going to go ahead and play this audio. And the thing that you guys have to realize is that these are several phone calls. Now remember, over 60 people called in regarding these strange lights in the sky over Michigan. And before I play it, because it is going to be 22 minutes of phone calls that you're about to listen to. But in the meantime, let me just give you a glimpse. So this again happened March 8, 1994. People reported things like flickering lights resembling Christmas lights or a string of airplanes flying close together. And they went nuts. They just started calling 911. The lights were described as blue, white, red, and green lights, sometimes attached to a cylindrical object and sometimes performing unusual maneuvers. Now, I'm pretty sure that this many people in Chicago had the courage to call in and report it. Imagine how many more saw it and never even picked up the phone to address the issue with any of the authorities. So now I said earlier there was a phone call to the National Weather Service regarding what people were saying. And let me just give you some quotes. Now, the actual phone call and discussion with the National Weather Service operator is actually a little bit towards the last quarter of this audio. You hear the operator talking. And so one of the things that you hear him say is that he was getting some kind of a reading at about 12,000 feet. It's pretty strong. Then he goes, "Oh my God, what is it? Now I'm getting 3 of them. And they're about separated about 5,000 feet in height." So he's basically describing what he's seeing on his radar. And then he went on to describe the objects. And like I said, you hear this in the audio. The National Weather Service operator says, "I'm seeing 3. They look like a triangle on my scope. One by South Haven, another over Lake Michigan, one east of Benton Harbor near Decatur. And then apparently later on in the discussion, he does mention a fourth one that appears over another county during that discussion. So these are real people. These are real people calling real services, emergency services, National Weather Service, and they're having a discussion about what they're seeing that night, March 8th of 1994, over the Michigan area. So with so many people reporting these things, apparently at the time, this story kind of became like a national story, but again, it died out. And in listening to our buddy Carlos Acevedo, we know that he kind of stumbled across the story, in his interest relating to UFOs and what was happening and the things that he experienced himself. So that's what drove him to find it. So without further ado, I'm not going to jibber jabber any longer because this story is 4.2 far. And I say that you guys really should listen to all of this because it's real people calling emergency service about a UFO or several UFOs that were from 4.2 far. And there's even a lady in there that says they're not from this world. So let me not deter you from your investigation. Here it goes.
The date 3/8/94, the time 21:30 hours. Also recorded will be a dispatch conversation with the National Weather Service personnel.
We were just wondering, have you heard anything about these lights that are flickering up here in the, what is it, the southeast area? It's like a group. It looks like a string of Christmas lights that's way up in the sky. And we wondered if you had heard anything about it.
Not a thing.
Wow, you might ought to have somebody take a look. It's different. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know. It's strange. But it's right out east-southeast. It's way up. And it's just like a circle of a lot of different lights flickering. And it's different than any airplane.
Okay, your address, please?
Well, we're at 354 Country Club Road.
Okay, and you say what direction is it?
It's looking out the front of our house. It's Daryl, what direction did you say that was? Southeast. And that's when you're coming down 16th Street, right to Country Club Road. If you look to your immediate, just to your lower right, they're right there in the sky. This is something we've never seen before.
Okay, we'll have somebody check it out.
All right.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. 911?
Yeah, is this the police?
We do the dispatching form, so it's the center.
Okay, I don't know if you guys do anything on UFOs at all. I got real... And it was going up and down. Hold on. Oh, excuse me?
Okay, what do you have there, sir?
There were at least 4 lights, and they were all flashing like, okay, they were the sequence. It was a kind of like a V, and there was 4 lights, and they were blinking back and forth. And there's no way, I mean, a plane's not that wide. And then it went down to 3 lights, and it started spinning around. Like it was a circular motion. Then it started going up and down, and then it went to 2 lights, into the same thing, and now it's 1 and just spinning in a circle.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Troy Prince.
Troy Prince?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're at 419 Stratford Way, apartment 7?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we'll have somebody stop by and see you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
What do you think?
911. You guys busy?
A little bit.
I can call that. It's not a really emergency. We just called about the UFOs we thought.
Mm-hmm.
They're out there. They ain't airplanes.
Yeah, we've got a car on the way over there, let's see, right now. We've got a couple other calls.
Really? They see them too?
Mm-hmm. Where are they now? I mean, are they...
They're just kind of hanging there. They came up as a group and then they kind of What, I bet some kind of hot air balloon or helium balloon with lights on them. Okay. They ain't airplanes.
Yeah, we've got a car on the way. He was coming from the downtown area, so
They're kind of hanging in the general area. It's like maybe the wind might have broken them apart like they would be balloons, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so we got a call from Stratford Way, and that's where he's heading first, and then he's going to head over to yours.
Okay, yeah, they're dead south of us now.
South of you?
Yeah, we're on 16th Country Club.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, brother.
Central Dispatch?
Yeah, this is a non-emergency, so feel free to cut me off if something comes in. And I feel kind of silly calling, but my son insisted that I call. Is there any Air Force airplanes or helicopters flying around in Allegan or Ottawa County tonight?
Well, we've had reports out Stratford Way in that area of lights, and they're checking it out.
Stratford Way?
Yep.
Now, where would that be? We're right on Ottawa on the county line.
Yeah, it's down in that area, right
It is?
by Holland City.
Pardon?
Right down, it's by Holland City.
Okay, because he saw them heading southeast of the county line of Ottawa and Allegan, probably right on the Kent County line, I would imagine.
Okay, yeah, we've got them checking it out. They say it's something to do with radio towers down in the area.
It has something to do with what?
Radio towers down in the area.
They were in the air.
Why don't you tell him what you saw?
Okay, I was at a real high hill, right on the county line there, and it was like at a 45-degree angle to the ground. There was like probably 4 or 5 lights, and they were all flashing right in a row from the top all the way down to the bottom. And it was sitting there for a while, and then it leveled off, and then it moved southeast. It was up in the air quite a bit.
Okay, yeah, we got an officer down the area checking on it right now.
Okay.
Okay.
It took off real fast.
Okay, yeah, we'll let him know.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
You have reached the National Weather Service office in Muskegon, Michigan. Phone calls are answered during normal business. Weather Service, Muskegon.
Hi, Muskegon. This is Ottawa County 911 calling.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. You guys have access to a radar there, don't you?
Yes, we do.
You do. You getting anything weird down in the southern Ottawa County area?
Anything weird? Hold on for a second.
Okay. Yeah, 84th and Garfield. Out of Chicago. That's a track radar.
Nothing more than the usual ground glare we get right there. Let me get on closer range.
Okay, the reason I ask is we're getting a whole bunch of calls of some strange lights in the southern Ottawa, northern Allegan County, right near Holland City area.
Strange light?
Yeah, such as we've had about 60 UFO calls.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I'm sitting here going, no, come on, there's got to be something more to this.
Yeah. Well, I have to call a UFO reporting center then about this.
But this is just, we've had a couple of them, and we got an officer out there right now, and he says the only thing he sees right now is a tower. What they had done is replace their lights. They were on steady before, now they're on an alternating blinking pattern. That's what he's writing it off to, but a couple of our people, or the citizens, are saying, well, yeah, but they seem to be moving. Well, are you standing in the same spot you were before? No. Well, that would make a move to me, I mean, you're standing on one side of your house, you go to the other, they're going to be in a different location. So I was just kind of curious if you noticed anything or anything on there at all.
I'm looking at it in the vertical now, and I'm not really, let's see, wait a minute, there's something right there. Okay, let's see what that is. Looks like, there's a larger turn down there. Let's see, that looks like, it's up about maybe, disappeared, but it was up about 6,000 feet in about, could have been a plane, I don't know, but it was pretty big. Wait a minute, let's see what that was.
Yeah, they're getting a bunch of weird ones down there. And like I say, now it's starting to, appears to be moving a little bit south.
Yeah, okay, what move? Let's see. Yeah, there's something big down there. Wait a minute, that's really strange. I get it down at, I'm getting it down around South Bend. No, wait a minute, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong graph. Let's see.
Really strange.
If I can find the right overlay, I can say exactly what I'm seeing. I can't find it. Oh, shoot. It's moving. I can see it moving, and it's just moved about, well, let me get the range stroke. Let's see. It should... it looks like it's around 82 kilometers from me. That puts it down about, yeah, right down at the, right down near South Haven.
Okay, yeah, this would be north of this.
And
right at the Allegan-Ottawa County line.
Okay, now I lost it. But yeah, oh, there it goes. Okay, it's moving. It's moving towards the west-southwest. And it looks like a big blob.
Yeah, that's the way it was explained to us.
And it's not... I think it's almost off the scope. Let me go to another...
This is weird.
Let me go to another... let's see. Intensity. It looks like it's fizzled out. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. What's that? Yeah, it was up about 6,000 feet or so. And unless that was a really seeing it, okay. And I can't. It disappears. It's moving because
one pass is here, the next pass is gone.
yeah. Well, I got it on manual now. I'm just kind of I'm continuously radiating on it, and looks like it's steady right now. It's gone up. I'm getting it now at about 12,000 feet.
Oh, that's just weird.
And it's a pretty strong return.
Huh.
But yeah, I've never seen. Now I'm getting multiple returns.
One of the people that called that I had happened to talk to said it looked like a bunch of cylindrical objects.
Well, oh my God, what is this?
They were going together and coming apart.
Yeah, there's three, and they're lengthwise. Now I'm getting three of them, and I'm getting a third one now, and they're separated by about looks like about 5,000 feet in height, and about maybe
an officer just sent me a message here. He says
about maybe they're separated by about 50 kilometers. And they're very strong returns. I'm getting a real they're they're spiking, so there's something pretty solid. It's not precipitation or anything, especially up at that height.
Yeah. An officer in the Holland City just sent me a message. He says, can we identify anything further? He says it looks like 3 to 4 of them.
I'm seeing 3. I'm seeing 3, and they're separated by. They look like a triangle on my scope. I'm looking one around down by. Let's see. I'm seeing one down near South Haven. I'm seeing another one over Lake Michigan, about northwest of Benton Harbor, and another one over, west of, or east of Benton Harbor, which would be near, looks like Decatur. So I'm seeing 3 of those. They're very strong. Now I'm getting another one down in Berrien County. These are huge returns. I've never seen anything like this. Not even when I'm doing storms. These aren't storms. They're just popping up all over the place.
This is strange, yeah, because the officer says it's green and red lights. It does not look like an airplane.
Okay.
They come together and then they separate, and they just keep doing this all the time.
And he's seeing that? Yeah, I'm seeing 3 returns. They've moved positions now. South Haven looks like, shed more light. South Haven. Okay, that one over by South Haven just zoomed over to the northwest by about, now they changed positions again. One about 20 miles west of South Haven. Another one just above, looks like the Coloma, and the other one is just off the coast of Benton Harbor.
Wow, this is weird.
Okay, now that one near South Haven has moved. It's moving further out into Lake Michigan. I'm getting them up. Okay, it popped. Now I'm getting 4. No? Yeah, I got 4 for a while. Now I'm getting another one way down. I did for a little while. These are all up around about between 7,000 and 12,000 feet.
Oh, this is strange. This is really weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it's some kind of energy or the radar is picking up something.
Dispatch Union 22.
I wish we had a picture of this, but
I want to find out exactly where he sees them once.
Yeah.
Union 22. Can you advise objects are they south of you yet or right overhead?
Coordinates are southwest from 16th and Country Club area.
Yeah, he says they're southwest of Holland City. So that could be that one by Benton Harbor if it's up that high. This is really weird.
Yeah, I was getting 4. Okay, now they've moved position again. And I'm sweeping it back and forth in kind of like a triangle, just back and forth from where the beam is spotted towards Chicago, then I sweep it back toward maybe Fort Wayne. Mm-hmm. And each sweep, they'll be in the same position, and then all of a sudden they'll pop up somewhere else. So it's instantaneously moving, and I'm getting about between 3 and 4 returns. And they look like, sweeping in the vertical, they look like very strong spikes. I'm getting, it's really weird. So I don't know if these are bigger than planes. Usually a plane will pick up as as a little pinpoint, but these are about, on my radar scope, these are about the size of maybe, looks like a half centimeter across.
Righty, I'm going to try Grand Rapids ones here too and see if they've got anything that they're aware of once too.
Okay, they look like they're all moving toward the south, towards Chicago. There's 3 returns moving towards Chicago. They're about over center of Lake Michigan, 3 of them in a triangle, and they're about the real southern part of Lake Michigan, probably just off the coast of Berrien County.
Okay.
Just northeast of Chicago.
All right, I will give them a shot and see what I can locate from them.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Central Dispatch.
Yeah, this is the National Weather Service in Muskegon. I was calling to make sure that the person that called me was really a sheriff from out of a county and not a hoax.
He was one of our dispatchers.
Oh, okay. Calling about the...
Right, we've been chasing them all over down that way.
Pardon?
We've been chasing lights down all over down that way.
So what really is going on?
We don't know. I still got a car out in the area.
Really? Can you hold on for a second?
Sure.
All right.
Did Ken fill you in on the weather service at all, Jim?
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, okay. So what were these things what do they look like?
I don't know. We got a report of something going through the air with lights on it horizontally, 3 to 4 lights going at a high rate of speed up and down and all over the sky. And I'll bet we've had 5 or 6 calls.
Right.
And they've all been in the South Holland area.
South Holland?
Yep, from South Holland down to Overijssel, down in that area.
Overijssel? Okay. And what color were the lights?
I didn't really get what color they were.
Okay, yeah. Well, I did pick up, about 3 to 4 blips, and they were big. They weren't planes, because planes usually show up like as a little pinpoint that move through on the scope. But these were bigger. These were about the size of half a thumbnail on the scope, and they were up about between 5,000 and 12,000 feet, and they had real strong returns with them. And there were 3 of them. They bounce all over the place, but the general movement of all 3 of them were towards Chicago. I pretty much gave up looking at them when it reached just southern Lake Michigan, right towards, as it was moving towards Chicago.
Okay.
So I did see something, and I've never seen anything like that before. I don't know, if it's some kind of an atmospheric phenomenon. I hear they have, the Northern Lights is going on. I got a call from Manton saying that the Northern Lights are really dancing around, really bright.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so.
Okay. Well, they're speeding. I think it seems to me like the last one I said it was moving like to the southeast from Holland towards Allegan County.
To the southeast.
Southwest, I'm sorry.
Southwest towards Chicago. Okay, that's
talking about towards Chicago.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing them actually move towards Chicago.
Great.
I wish we had a recording of what I could see.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's some blips showing up on the computer part, and this is being recorded. So
good.
There is going to be a recording of this. So if they can, you might be able to see a movement on this if we could play this back. So.
Okay. All right. Well, if we get any more, we'll let you know also.
Okay. Let me. Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So there you go. If you listen to this to the very end, you heard all of those calls, and the people, some of them were just dumbfounded. I mean, they really seem at one point to really want to get an explanation and hoping that it was maybe a military exercise or just something that was explainable. But you can almost tell that they knew they haven't seen shit like that in the Michigan area or anywhere else. And some of them seem to really be thinking this is from 4.2 far. Somebody has got to know, because there's just no way that I'm the only person that's seeing this flying around the sky. Thank you to Carlos for calling in, sharing his experiences, and sharing this story, because to be honest, I had no idea the story even existed. But it takes individuals like Carlos and anybody else that actually jumps on a show or talks or chats or sends emails or tweets or whatever the hell it is you want to do. But the idea is that you want to share these stories, because some of them pretty quickly become forgotten. And, unless you are willing to come forward and not worry about things like criticism and ridicule, unless you're willing to come forward, these stories will disappear. And it's a shame. I'll catch you in a few days. I am Manny Moonraker. This is the end of this episode. Sayonara.